All across North America are reported sightings of large, hairy humanoids, with those who've allegedly encountered them describing them as being covered in hair from head to toe and commonly encountered within or nearby the untamed woods and landscapes found all across the United States and Canada. Oddly enough, not every state or local area across North America refers to the creature as the same name, and more commonly, local legends will feature similar descriptions of the creature, but with slight variations in its design alongside differing names. Mr. Kramer of Mississippi reported that he captured this photograph in the woods. The photograph appears to show a large humanoid creature standing next to some trees, with the eyewitnesses saying that when he came back to the area and measured the trees, they estimated that this creature is around 8 feet in height. It's interesting to note, though, that this creature does fit the description of other photos that have been captured. One user said the following: "This looks quite convincing to me, as most do look like people in suits, but this one doesn't seem to show that. This doesn't, however, mean that the photo is genuine, and hopefully the owner can have the right people carry out an investigation to get to the bottom of this mystery." Others said that with these older photographs, it's hard to track down where it was taken, and any more information that could help us get to the bottom of what this thing was. Some amateur researchers who've spent years looking into the creature did say, though, this was the first time that they've seen this image, and said that further examination of the photograph should be conducted. For years now, people across the United States have been encountering mysterious creatures, and some of these happen in places like national parks or mountainous areas. It's also not uncommon to hear mysterious sounds in these regions. Although nearly impossible to believe, a series of mass sightings reported back in 1973 within a small American town known as Murphysboro would lead to the local police department spearheading an official investigation into the existence of a local humanoid creature. The Murphysboro mud monster is believed to be a large humanoid bipedal ape-like creature similar to modern-day sightings of the North American Bigfoot. Witness descriptions of the creature claim it to have white-coloured fur and appearing similar in design to an oversized gorilla with splotches of mud matting its fur. The first sightings of the Murphysboro mud monster were recorded in the summer of 1973 and would be spotted by several dozen independent eyewitnesses up until the modern day, where sightings still continue. The primary location of reported sightings of the Murphysboro mud monster is along the banks of the Big Muddy River, located near the small town of Murphysboro. Witness accounts detail that the head of the creature appeared spade-shaped, similar to reports of the Flatwoods monster. The texture of the monster's fur was also described as being similar in likeness to the shaggy fur of an English sheepdog. In several reports describing the Murphysboro mud monster, the creature was claimed to have glowing red eyes, similar to the brightness of a distant streetlight. In other reports, the creature is claimed to have no visible face, as it appears to have been completely covered in the white fur. On the 26th of June, a young 5-year-old boy by the name of Christian Barrell would claim to witness a monster with a similar description at around 10:30 in the evening. According to the child's mother, he has been given a glass jar that he could use to catch fireflies with. Seeing a large group of fireflies alongside the bank of the Big Muddy River, Christian travelled near the water and saw what he described as a large white shape rise up from behind a fence that separated their property from a neighbour's property. Believing that he saw a ghost, 5-year-old Christian Barrell ran back to his home, dropping the jar, and found his dad, crying to him and telling him what he had seen. Although the dad did not believe that his son had seen anything resembling a ghost, he comforted the child and said that the creature was gone and would not hurt him. Several days later, the father claimed that as he was talking to his neighbour, the neighbour told him about a sighting his family had experienced on the 26th of June of what he believed was a large white ape-like monster walking through his backyard and disappearing into the nearby Big Muddy River. According to the neighbour, his daughter, a young teenager by the name of Cheryl Ray, claimed to have encountered the mysterious creature sometime at around 11 in the evening, and this was while she had been sitting on the enclosed front porch with her boyfriend, Randy Creeth. According to the young couple, while in the middle of a conversation, they claimed to have heard rustling coming from about 15 feet away from where they were sitting. At first, the couple assumed that the rustling was caused by small animals running through the brush, but soon became suspicious when the rustling started to grow louder and continued across multiple bushes. Cheryl Ray and Randy Creeth believed that the sound was most likely being caused by a group of young neighborhood kids who were spying on the young couple as a prank. This theory would cause Cheryl Ray to go inside the home to turn on the outside porch light, while Randy Creeth decided to leave the enclosed porch to confront the kids. However, as the front outdoor porch light came on, Randy soon witnessed a massive white-furred creature standing an estimated 10 feet away from where he had been standing, causing him to freeze in fear. Cheryl Ray would later provide the following description of the events. Randy and I were sitting in my parents' breezeway when we heard something in the woods. We both went down, but Randy was walking a little bit ahead. Then he called me over, and there it was. We stood there looking at it. It was really tall and hairy. I think it was white, but it was dirty and matted. It had a real bad odor. It was really rank. I never smelled anything like it. It seemed like an eternity we stood there, and then it just turned around and walked off into the woods. We could hear it trampling through the woods." End quote. Randy Creeth would later draw a silhouette outline of the creature, showing that the monster apparently had a spade-shaped head similar to the Flatwoods monster. He would later provide the following description of the creature. "The thing I remember was the bulk of it, the shape, the human form, and the stench of the river slime it apparently had on it. It was about 8 feet tall, and at least as built as a New York football player. We were within 15 feet of it, close enough to see the body, the texture of the fur, which was long and hairy. It was like an English sheepdog." End quote. Both witnesses would claim that the creature had glowing red eyes that were similar to the glow of a distant streetlight. Its height was estimated to have been around 7 feet tall, with the creature believed to have weighed more than 350 pounds if compared to a human being. Additionally, the creature's arms were believed to have been elongated, similar to a gorilla's arms. After staring at the creature for a total of 30 seconds, the large humanoid beast turned around and appeared to have walked away into the surrounding bushes and disappeared. Shortly thereafter, Cheryl Ray and Randy Creeth would contact the local Murphysboro Police Department and describe their sighting of the creature. Police officers Jimmy Nash and Ron Manwaring would immediately respond to the call of the creature sighting, believing that the monster was the same creature previously spotted by the Murphysboro Police Department at around the same time on the previous night. Once the two officers arrived on scene, they quickly noticed what they described was a powerful odor that was unlike anything they had previously encountered. When trying to locate the source of the smell, the officers would stumble across a set of large footprints that were similar to the recovered prints seen near the bank of the Big Muddy River. Believing that the footprints were evidence of the creature, 14 additional officers would be sent to investigate the mysterious creature sighting, including an officer by the name of Jerry Nellis, who had been trained as a dog handler with the Carbondale Police Department. According to the official police report, Jerry Nellis brought along his German Shepherd by the name of Reb. Official Murphysboro Police Department records describe Reb as one of the most reliable canines on the force, having successfully assisted in past search and rescue missions. As the officers gathered together, the team decided to follow the tracks left behind the creature in the hopes of bringing it down. As the officers followed a set of tracks, they discovered what they later described as a foul-smelling black slime that followed the trail from the back porch of the Ray home down into the nearby Big Muddy River. Using the strange slime as a source of scent, Officer Jerry Nellis's dog Reb began to follow the creature's scent, with the officers following closely behind. The officers recalled in their report that the trail appeared to have been littered with broken tree limbs and trampled underbrush that showed the creature was far larger than any known human being. The trail ended near a quarry of rocks and granite stones, where the dog appeared to have trouble relocating the scent. After a minute or so, however, the dog picked up a new scent that followed a small trail through dense forest and alongside an embankment to the Big Muddy River that led to a small steep-sloped pond. Before long, the dog brought the officers to an abandoned barn located on the old Buller property, which rested north of the Big Muddy River, east of the Ray home. Once the dog reached the door of the barn, however, it began yelping and trembling and was too scared to move any further. Believing that the monster was in the barn, the officers decided to wait to enter the barn before additional backup arrived. It's at this point that the official police record surrounding the incident becomes muddled and inconsistent. Some officers claim that after additional backup arrived from neighboring police departments, totaling about a dozen patrol cars, the monster had broken out of the barn through a back wall and disappeared into the nearby river. Other reports claim that the officers entered the barn and discovered no evidence of the creature, but recovered more samples of the mysterious black slime. Additional reports claim that the officers encountered and neutralized the monster within the barn and had made attempts to cover up the recovery of the creature's body. Regardless of the events, the search for the creature was immediately called off following the searching of the barn, and the officers would return to their patrols and departments. The witness testimony from the officers and future sources of information conflict and often contradict each other when it comes to the recovery of the black slime. In one report, an officer claims that the smell of the slime was so putrid, it was immediately covered with dirt and buried. Another report claims that officers gathered up the black slime as evidence of the events, though no evidence of recovered black slime is found in the modern day. Shortly after this encounter, the police chief of the Murphysboro Police Department, a man by the name of Toby Berger, would put out warnings to local newspapers and officers, claiming that the encounters or sightings of the creature should be toned down or possibly censored to prevent the development of mass hysteria, as the police chief claimed he was worried that one of the residents could become trigger-happy and accidentally hurt another resident of their small town. Despite these attempts at censorship, stories of the encounters would spread across the town of Murphysboro, leading to the formation of small armed groups that would go hunting for the creature. So, what do you all think of this mysterious photograph? And what do you make of the strange expedition led by the Murphysboro Police Department and a private investigator into the Murphysboro creature? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.